If a tram rings its bell in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, unfortunately, I won't be able to answer that question because I'll be on that tram in the woods. Let's ride the Kirnitzschtalbahn. I'd have liked to have had an on-site intro for this video, but we were making a very tight connection by the ferry from the mainline train station to the town of Bad Schandau, so we actually ended up running to make our Kirnitzschtalbahn train, which was running half-hourly on its summer schedule, so we kind of just had to jump on board once we got to the station, with almost no time to spare. Fortunately though, we made it.
Literally running to make it, but we're taking the Kirnitzschtalbahn.
Alright, so we just boarded the Kirnitzschtalbahn. And it's like a little forest tramway. These like nice historic wooden tram cars. Very cool. We're not in a powered car. We kind of boarded, last second. So we're just in a trailer. After a few moments, the doors close and we roll out of Kurpark Station, the Kirnitzschtalbahn's western terminus in Bad Schandau. So what is the Kirnitzschtalbahn, and more importantly, where are we going? The Kirnitzschtalbahn, or Kirnitsch Valley Railway, as the line follows along the Kirnitsch River, which you'll see plenty of times in this video, is a meter-gauge, straight-running tram line in Germany's Saxon Switzerland National Park, or in German Nationalpark, Sächsische, Schweiz, reachable on the Dresden S-Bahn, not far from the Czech border. The Kirnitzschtalbahn runs 7.9 kilometers, or about 4.9 miles, from Kurpark in the small town of Bad Schandau to Lichtenhainer Wasserfall, a waterfall site with a tiny little village, if you could even call it that, with stops in between. Many of these stops have trails for hiking or other natural sites to enjoy, and really the main point of this line is to simply transport visitors to the national park, though I'm sure some locals use it as well. It's worth noting that bus route 241 also follows the entire Kirnitzschtalbahn route, though it goes further than the tram on both ends. So these trams are really bumpy. I'm in a trailer, so I'm actually in the actual power car. Really bumpy, really loud. Now as we get deeper and deeper into the nature and to the national park, you might be thinking, where's the other tram track for trams going the other direction? Well, there isn't one. Of course, single-track rail lines are nothing new. However, this is a single-tracked tramway in the eastbound travel lane of a narrow two-way road. Eastbound trams run as you'd think, with traffic. Westbound trams, however, run into oncoming eastbound car traffic. So there's a whole set of rules for how to drive around this rail line. But put simply, the tram has the right-of-way, and you just have to get out of the way if it's coming towards you. A great idea, if you ask me. But I'll say more on that on our return westbound trip. After not too long, we reach a passing siding at the line's depot. While waiting for the westbound tram to pass by, I catch a glimpse of Motor Car 1, an old East German Gotowagen, like many of the tram cars on the line. The car I'm in, Trailer Car 22, is a Gotowagen from the 1960s, again fitting in with the 1950s and 1960s Gotowagen vehicles on the line, collected from a few different Eastern German tram networks over the years. Fun fact, some of the cars, including the one I'm in, are actually old Leipzig tram cabins on Halle tram trucks. Neat. Eventually, we get on our way eastbound again, passing some more beautiful scenery as we get further and further away from town. Now, a great thing about this line is that it accepts the Deutschland ticket, Germany's monthly countrywide transit ticket, so I didn't have to pay anything extra to ride, as I already had a Deutschland ticket. Of course, you can also pay out of pocket if you don't have said ticket, and they might have a special fare for runs of historic vehicles, yes, even older than the East German trams that I'm riding, but those run dates are listed on the Kirnitzschtalbahn website. While the line originally opened in 1898, the oldest vehicles actually built originally for the Kirnitzschtalbahn that still run the line are from 1928, as in 1927 a fire destroyed the tram depot and the rolling stock inside. After about half an hour, we reached the end of the line at Lichtenhainer Wasserfall. There are a handful of buildings and, of course, the waterfall. What was borderline more interesting to me, though, was watching the tram motor cars run around the trailers to pull them back down the line, since there isn't a wire turning loop to turn the trams around. Hence this runaround maneuver. Eventually that tram left, so we waited half an hour for the next one. So in the lead car, I didn't know this in the trailers, but in the lead cars, they at least have fare validators. So I think if you board midway through, you probably board in the front car. There's the cab. Looks very cool. No driver at the moment. He is, I think, checking tickets. On the way back, there's plenty of rock faces, wooded areas, and natural scenery to look at. And here's a great example of us traveling into oncoming traffic. That's an eastbound bus 241, but it has to move into the westbound lane on the wrong side of the road to let our tram pass. So no westbound car traffic can move either. Once we pass, the bus can move back into the correct lane and continue eastward. Meanwhile, we don't have to stop as, again, the tram has the right-of-way. Soon enough, we meet an eastbound tram at a passing loop. But soon enough, we're on our way again, and it's smooth sailing back to the depot, where we pass yet another oncoming tram. And some passengers even got on or off at some intermediate stops. And after a while, we're back in Bad Schandau, where I have to make another tight connection back via the ferry to the S-Bahn station across the Elbe River. Well, just saw a really good opportunity for a thumbnail for this video. Can't get it because I gotta run to catch a ferry. To make an S-Bahn. It's a whole bunch of connections. Yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the Kirnitzschtalbahn. Would totally recommend. It's accepting the Deutschland ticket, so it doesn't cost anything extra if you already have that, and it's a nice little ride. And as for the Kirnitzschtalbahn, I'm quite a fan. Yes, it's kind of a tourist railroad, but it's a tourist railroad, or rather a park railroad, with a purpose. It opens up different areas of the Sächsische Schweiz National Park to visitors while providing some great scenery along the way. I enjoyed the ride, and it was definitely worth the trip as a part of our day in the national park. Just make sure you pay attention to train schedules and the possibility that you'll be taking a ferry or bus from the mainline train station to where the Kirnitzschtalbahn actually starts. And if you're riding the Kirnitzschtalbahn in the winter, double, triple, maybe even quadruple check the schedule because trains run much less frequently. But let me know your thoughts on the Kirnitzschtalbahn in the comments. And as with every video, thanks for watching, like and or subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next one.